Welcome to Jilly on the Beat, your personal hotspot for the latest news and music. I'm your host, Jill Murphy. Hey, this is Jill Murphy. Today is March 19th, and this is the second episode of my podcast series, Jilly on the Beat. The world of music's crazy and hard to keep up with, but don't worry, that's why I'm here. This show reviews the latest albums, tours, and other big events with the hottest artists in the game. Today we're going to be talking about the one, the only, K-Dot, other times known as Kendrick Lamar, and his part in the hit soundtrack, Black Panther, the album. Is this receiving the hype it deserves? I also want to bring up the debate on using smartphones at concerts, which is something that was brought up regarding Kendrick's latest tour. Kendrick Lamar has been in the music biz for 8 years now, which is insane when you think about how much he's accomplished as an artist in that amount of time. From record-breaking albums to being an influence in our current society with racial issues, he's been on fire. Black Panther, the album, debuted on February 9th, 2018 and sold 154,000 copies in its first week. According to CNN Media, after the film release, an additional 61,300 copies were sold, which includes physical and digital listens. Just wow. I'm not trying to be biased, but this album is pretty awesome with a first listen, and no, I'm not saying this because I'm a fan of hip-hop to begin with. I know. This album is being credited as a cultural movement due to its impact on the entertainment industry and black representation in Hollywood. Generally, this is one of my new favorite albums. I was hooked from the first song. The soothing yet catchy beats to the stories told through the lyrics. This is a great 45 minutes of my life listening to this. I thought that this soundtrack was pretty unique compared to most of the music that I've listened to in the past few months, but I would love to hear other opinions. So I have Paul here today. How are you doing, Paul?
I'm doing great, Jill. How are you?
I'm great. So, do you feel that Kendrick's latest album should be receiving the hype that it's been getting, or do you think he's released way better?
Oh, man. Well, I feel like when you look at this album, you can't really compare it to any of his past works because this album is done for a movie. He was brought into it to produce this album for a reason. And when you look at where Kendrick is from and his culture, he's from Compton, so he's kind of the heart of where, inequality and underprivileged, African Americans come from, and that he explains that through his music. But when you look at an album like Black Panther, like, this project furthers his career. This is not a solo project that he, sat in a house for and put together, and he put a lot of hard work into. This was a collaborative effort, and they chose someone like Kendrick because of who he is. You're not going to get someone like Drake to do this album. So I think that, yes, it really does deserve the hype that it's getting because, number one, the movie is incredible. Black Panther is like breaking all types of records. And second, there's so many talented features on it, and Kendrick's production game is incredible. So I think, hell yeah.
So is that why you think this album's being praised so important in our generation?
Yeah, I think it's a progressive album. When you look at what the movie represents, for African Americans, it's good to see someone that looks like themselves in a light that they weren't really ever perceived before. So that's going to change the eyes of our future, the youngins right now, and it's also might change the minds of, some Caucasian people who are unable to see that, and, for ignorance purposes, but I think that it's really important.
Thanks for coming in today, Paul.
Thanks for having me, Jill.
There have been many articles posted about Kendrick's new tour with the rule of banning smartphones from being in sight. According to the website Engadget, he isn't letting professional photographers or concert goers record anything of his latest European leg of his tour. The reasoning? For us, as fans, to actually enjoy what we're watching and not get so caught up in our social media lives. There was an update with this article that Kendrick's reps have claimed this ban isn't true. But in all seriousness, I like this ban. I really do. So many times, my friends and I get caught up in the idea of making sure all of our followers know where we are and who we're seeing, rather than living in the moment. It's way too easy to become addicted to our phones, even when we don't mean to. It's a distraction, and I dig this new idea to get rid of the phones. Concerts are for watching with your own eyes, not a camera lens. Thanks for listening to this week's Jilly on the Beat. Next week, we're taking it to an artist who's been testing a few different genres lately, so make sure you stop by and listen. This is Jill Murphy, and I'm looking forward to my next podcast.
I fight the world, I fight you, I fight myself, I fight God, just tell me how many burdens left. I fight pain and hurricanes, today I wept, I'm trying to fight